Okay, so it's the second weekend in May, and it's time for our seedling update. And 4 weeks have elapsed since we started this experiment. We started on the 14th, I believe, of April. Um, so, and remember what we had done besides starting some seeds was try a few little things to get some experimentation going here. So one of the things we did is, so we had three soil mixes, this black gold, Jif, and then just a mix of ours, which is the mix we planned in. We just screened it out. So what we did is took some of these carrot seeds, these are little fingers, and just planted them all the same variety and all these things. So we had a bunch that were in the one mix, one in the other mix, and then one in our mix. And so now we can see that there's quite a big difference between them. So this mix here, this Jif mix, or Jiffy or something like that, it is looking, they're much bigger. All the carrots are. They have a huge head start. These ones are looking pretty good. We have the true leaves for all of them, and these ones, which is our stuff, is looking okay. So I would just say that definitely the Jif is clear winner there in that. And then the other two, looks like the black gold might have a slight advantage, but it's kind of hard to tell. But definitely a difference in the Jif. So for carrots anyway, the Jif is definitely the bomb. So then we move on to our, so each of these three, we're planted with those three different soil mixes, the black gold, the Jif, and the R mix. So we planted a bunch of different flowers, but to do a little bit of an experiment, what we did is I planted, in each one, I planted the first column with a zinnia mix, California Giants. So those four, these four, and these four are all the same. And obviously, you heard me chuckle there, it's pretty clear there's a difference. And so these guys are monumental. They're huge, just incredible. These ones are still pretty good size, and these ones are kind of small, you know, especially compared to what you got there. So they're a good size for seedling, but being 4 weeks, it's been, you know. Anyway, so with that, you can clearly see again, reconfirming what we thought about the carrots, this Jif mix is a huge difference for the same seed planted in all three mixes. With our mix here, it did pretty good. Yes, it's basically slightly behind this, but it also could be the positional as well. As you can see now, see the line right there where the shade is coming, because now the sun is kind of traveling back this way, and the shade will start to creep over this way. So you can see that this last row and this part's starting to creep, and so that might be why. So definitely this is better than this. One thing we know for sure, this is not very good when it compared to these guys. So for the California Giants. So then also we planted 2 columns of the hollyhock, and so there was one here and one here. Not drastically different like the other guys, but still a little bit. These ones are all pretty tiny, and that one's tiny, but those are okay size. So not a clear cut answer there, but there's definitely a slight edge to that one. And then our third column here, this was another zinnia variety, Persian carpet. They're pretty tiny. Usually zinnias are pretty tall, and so there's not a direct other competitor for this, but what we did has a different variety of zinnia, which is this one here, which is a zinnia elegans, and there's huge compared to this one. It could be just the fact that the variety is different, but it's hard to tell, but definitely not very big. And so these are little petunias. It's very hard to see them. There's a few there, there's one there, and there's a few there and there. And it took them a week to pop up, and 3 weeks later they really haven't changed much. So very hard to get them to grow at all. So we'll just have to see if they're even going to make it. But after 4 weeks, that's all we got. And so we went over this one. This one here, we had one dud, but 3 out of the 4, these are dianthus. They're huge, nice and fantastic. Good size, I should say, compared to these guys especially. And then this row here, these are the candy tuft. So we're happy the way they came up. And then these are marigold Legion of Honor. And they are just fantastically huge. Once again, of all the plants in here, you know, these have the biggest leaves, and these also have the biggest. These are the second biggest with any variety. So I think there's definitely something about this mix here, but hard to tell. But because we didn't do a lot of controls. But anyway, so these California, let's see, the California Giants look fantastic. These are a marigold. It's a Legion of Honor type, and you see there's even flower buds on these guys. Now, these are just a regular marigold over here. So it might be something special about these Legion of Honor, different, faster growing variety, or it could be, like I said, this fact that they're shaded. But these are definitely doing fantastic. And then we already talked about all this, so that's a regular marigold. They're not doing too hot, but say it could be in the corner there. So what we want to do today is definitely get some of these guys out of here. These guys and these guys and these guys are definitely needing to be get out of here. Probably going to take those zinnias as well. Maybe the carrots, but I want to get some of these out of here so that we can reposition some of these and start some more seeds as well. So with the net cups, basically that didn't go too hot. I had 6 in here and 6 in here and 6 in here. These 3 were nasturtiums. 3 of them came up eventually. And then of these 6 here were planted in the same soil with the same variety as these 4. None of them came up. These 6 were planted with this variety, which obviously you would see a difference by now. But we had none until a couple days ago. And then this one popped up, this little guy. And then just this morning, this little guy popped up. So something weird about the net cups and planting marigolds for sure. So, or it could be what I did with it, I'm not sure. Because the sunflowers did fantastic in them. So all of our sunflowers, we had 3 varieties. Here's Mexican sunflower, Mexican torch, I believe. They've done good in the net cups as well as the block. And then with this variety here, we had 1 there, 2 there, and then 1 there. So good either way. Nice tall stem. The leaves are looking yellow, probably because it's running out of nutrients there, which is why I need to get all these sunflowers out of here. At least these guys. And then this variety here, we had 2 in the cups, which came up, and 2 in the blocks, which these 2 were a little later, but they did come up. So sunflowers didn't really care which one. I also did a different method of filling these ones. Maybe that had to do with something as well. So kind of hard to tell, but definitely the sunflowers have done great. So with our last edition here, I think we was about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks into it. I planted some more herbs. And so we have some basil here. Those look nice. And then our Thai basil, this column here. And then our cilantro. So those have all came up. I planted a few seeds in each one, but they've all popped up, so that's fantastic. And that's just our own soil mix. So this has been a long video, but basically there's lots of results here that I was trying to just sum up. Like I said, a lot of these things I'm going to be pulling out, and so I just want to get a good comprehensive show or a picture of everything that's going on. But like I said, these guys are just crazy big. It's amazing how big they are. I just can't believe it. I mean, these guys are tall. The sunflowers are tall, but these guys just have huge, huge, huge leaves. So gonna get some of these out of there, get them in the ground, and then we'll move some things up and make room for some more stuff. So anyway, that is our 4-week experiment for the seedlings. Thanks for watching.